It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is it's Friday, the 9th of January, AD 2025. And you are welcome to call in and super chat and whatever you like. The views expressed here do not represent Bond or JLP or even Hake. I don't even represent myself. It's true. Nor do the callers or super chatters or whatever. Take everything that you hear, think, see, and interpret, not just here, but in life in general, with a grain of salt, you know? Because you don't know. Nice. And some of you guys are already on hold. It is the AJ Gallardo original theme song we'll be playing as I get started here. And lots of stuff happening. No endorsement implied. No opposition implied either. All right? So just relax, if you please. I want to make sure that I get to you guys, both the super chatters as well as the callers, and give a fair shot to y'all. I do have some stuff to get to. Some things to get to. Or, you know, even if I don't necessarily get to these things. Wow, am I coming in loud? No, I'm okay. Even if I don't necessarily get to all these things, y'all, just be aware that there's a whole lot of mess going on in this old here world. There's lies. And the more I learn about these shootings, the more they seem like they are actually justified. But they want to pretend like they're not. It's so crazy. What a mess. You may be hearing a ghetto bird, but it's not a ghetto bird. It's a military helicopter. And I'll show it to you shortly here as I get going. Because, you know, we like to show some of this old beach footage. Shout out to Sion, and who else gave me support? Anthony. Warning, unstable cliffs. No, what did I just do? Oh, okay, no problem. Here, let me go back and show you the helicopter. There's the... What? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the helicopter. You see it? It's an Osprey. It has helicopter propellers that rotate, and it turns into a propeller plane thing, or jet, or whatever. Cool, huh? Nice. Anyway, y'all, I think I'm pretty well set. Let me make sure that I have the volume correct. Yeah. So let's just get right on with the AJ Gallardo original theme song, the show! Oh, Lord.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys! How y'all doing? We're gonna have a fun show, I do hope and pray. And you can get in. Oh, Lin Yen Chin, I saw your super chat as well. What's up, man? Let's get going.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. Yes, I have my I Disavow t-shirt on, one of them. It is the light green one. I think I got this one. It's heavy cotton Gildan. Gildan is a good fit, okay? So get it true to size if you're gonna buy one of my Gildan t-shirts, it's all right. So size medium. You're supposed to men wear large, but I wear medium. What a mess. Shout out to Gregatron and the rest of you guys. What's up, Kuku Jiao? Thank you, sir, for the super chat there. Yeah, and the reason I disavow so much is because to protect the channel. Be aware, be alert, because they don't really care about us. We don't have the freedom of speech from these so-called American companies, these great and amazing American companies and platforms such as YouTube, even Rumble. You can be on thin ice sometimes. Shout out Rumble. They don't have perfect freedom of speech. So, nice. I disavow. I want to get to some callers here. We have some people on hold. So let me... Oh, Lord, what am I doing? Yes. No. Yes. Okay. If we mosey on over and talk with Michael in Canada on the line here. Michael, thank you for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
Better disavow, because guess who's back? Michael from Canada.
Michael's back. And we do have to disavow Michael big time.
But, love you, Hake. I don't want your show to go down.
Of course.
I listen to you every day at work. You're like a friend to me now. Unwillingly, maybe by your part. But hey, I was joking there. Wednesday, I won't come to LA. We won't get drunk. We won't fight homeless people. And you know what, Pearl? I heard that she was with a black guy, so forget about her. Right. She don't want to be saved.
That's funny. Well, maybe she'll repent, and then maybe I'll gain. Maybe I'll grow taller by 3 or 4 or 5 inches, or however tall I need to be taller than that.
How tall are
you? I'm 6 foot plus or minus a few inches. Now. I'm almost about 6 feet plus or minus a few inches. I'm like 175, 176 centimeters, maybe. That's doxing.
No centimeters, bro. People, no. Go on foot. Foot is all right. So I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
No centimeters.
Do you do centimeters or do you do feet and inches?
We do for people. It's foot.
Okay, nice.
So I'm 5'5".
Okay.
5'5".
Nice.
135 pounds full of muscle, man.
Right on.
Not playing. But I want to talk about Venezuela.
Yes.
And man, when you said that you were surprised, I was surprised too, man. And not that surprised because I think it was coming. He was talking about it a little bit, and there's a lot of oil. I think not that much, but there's a deal with the oil right there, and
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was amazing how it was done. They go there, they kill no civilians, dropping bombs at strategic points, going there, and the same night taking the leader, bring him back here, and show it how the American army can do their thing. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really well done. So I got to give that to Trump. It was amazing. And some people talk about Genève Treaty, or I don't know what the thing after World War II, like you can't do things like that without approval, or but you know what? You get to not care about that because you're the power. You're the biggest and the strongest by far.
That's right.
Still. So when the boss is talking, you better shut up and listen because it will happen to you too. So I think it can do that to Mexico and Colombia and everything in the like the neighbors of the United States, because they're becoming a national problem, like a national security problem. Even Canada, man. Right there, we got a lot of Chinese spies. They come over here. Even in Quebec, where I live, we got a big electric plant, like hydroelectric plants. And in 2020, we've been spied by Chinese. And now they know everything about our plants and how it works. And it's dangerous, even for America, because now they got eyes on our territory. Like, we got an ocean between us and them, so for now it's cool, but if they becoming to be in our land, now it's becoming a real problem, because if want it or not, they are our enemies. And, man, I think that was amazing. You should do that to Mexico, Canada, Colombia, everywhere, man. Like, we are the boss, man.
How about the United Kingdom, where they don't have... they're violating their people's rights to the freedom of speech and stuff, and invading. They're allowing foreign invaders to come in.
Yeah, but you know why he did that to Venezuela? Because they're not in the treaty, like they're not in that big corporation, like because now it's becoming a problem because we're in the ONU, like United Nations, UN, like all these things is like a big corporation, and we're supposed to be quote unquote friends.
Yeah.
So, because if you think about it, Canada is a big problem for the United States right now.
Interesting.
Like, we are way too soft. We are destroying our economy, and we are a big ally economically to the United States. Not it, and we are taking way too more bad decisions, and we are becoming basically Mexico. And when the third world would be here, and if God can do it, the United States will become stronger again and kick out all these foreigners and become a real, like it's supposed to be. Canada will become a real big problem, because now the two borders will be a problem, Mexico and Canada. Because we will have a third world here and the third world in Mexico. So
true.
And you know, Canada already poisoned the mind of all the states near Canada. Now, Vermont and all these places, the Maine. No, it's real. They're all liberal.
Yeah, I know that, but I never thought of it that way. Canada poisoned New England's mind.
Yeah, because we had it really great, like 10, 20 years ago. We had it really great. So I can see how an American come here, see all its work here, and he's like, yeah, I don't have to pay health care and all these things. But it was working well like 20 years ago, but now it's going down the drain with bad decisions.
Right.
And because of corruption of the mind, and foreign countries, someone over here, women taking powers, because it's like here in Canada, it's like in the United States, all women are becoming judges. They're becoming, they got the big jobs, and guys, we are just working in factories and getting our hands dirty.
Yeah.
And before that, Bernie Sanders is from there. He's a big socialist, like he wants the United States to become Canada.
Right.
So, I mean, we already are a problem, to be honest. And we are becoming a huge problem with all these Indians and all these Chinese and all these Africans coming over here, and they are creating these money scams things. And, it's something. So, I mean, come over here, take Carne, and teach him how the United States rule the world right now. Because, man, it's a mess, man. But it was great move. I got it, Donald Trump. I got my thumbs up right now. Can't see it.
Mine too. It was it's a politically popular move to do. all of liberal and conservative, they were all condemning Maduro and saying, "Oh, Venezuela is sort of becoming sort of a rogue state because that wasn't a justified, a righteous election and all that stuff."
Yeah, I heard there's someone already elected by the people, but Maduro kept his position after the election or something like that.
Same here. That's what I heard as well.
Yeah, he got a Twitter page and all of that thing. Yeah. But, when you're becoming a problem, you got to go, man.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to deal with Russia and Chinese. And no. Here it's in America, man. And if you don't want it, you got to pay the price. Happy New Year. Yeah. Go back to your cell, you traitor.
Oh, you like that clip where he's doing his perp walk and he says, "Happy New Year."
Yeah, but you got to give it to the man. Like, he's calm. He's not afraid.
Yeah.
You got to give him that.
True.
Got to give him that. Because if I wake up in the middle of the night, I got Navy SEALs on my bed, I don't think I'll be calm like he is right now.
Yeah.
No. But, that's how it's done. Like, you go there, few strategic points, bomb there, no civilian kill, get them the men in the same night. Like, some people could take some notes.
Totally.
Yeah, that was amazing. So that's all I wanted to say. And maybe like next time I'll tell, some people don't know if the men back in Germany, 30 Germany, was Christian. But I got a speech right here, man. It's wonderful. So if I can call back maybe next week, I'll show you that.
All right. That sounds good.
Hey, have a nice day.
All right. Thank you, man. You too. Bye. He mentioned the Maduro thing. Let me show you guys Maduro. He was meeting with China, they said. Check this out. According to this woman on X, I think it's a woman, Mila Joy, China went to meet with Maduro today, meaning the day that they grabbed him, to discuss joining forces. Then Trump captures Maduro the same day. Savage. In fact, Chinese delegation was, at least at the date that this happened, still in Venezuela. Trump captures Maduro and sends a powerful message to Xi and China at the same time. Savage. And so there's Maduro all tall. Meeting with these guys. Good to see you. That was the Chinese guy.
El año del caballo, ¿verdad, Salvador? Usted es caballo. Yo soy tigre. Tú. Tanto tiempo. Yo lo conocí a él muy joven. Muy joven.
He was young.
Hace 20 años. Hace 20 años que lo conocí.
Whoa.
Cuando estaba el presidente.
These Chinese speaking Spanish? Something like that.
Ahora es director. Qué increíble, ¿verdad? Como pasa el tiempo.
How long are they going to shake hands?
Estás igual. Qué bueno verte.
Good to see you. At first, I thought that was Putin. Was that loud, guys? Sorry. I don't know if it was loud. Maybe it's okay. But there's Maduro being a glad-hander politician. And then later that evening, or early the next morning, 2 a.m., then the next day, that evening, the next day, that night, the next day, they went and grabbed him. Do I have that handy? Could I get it where he's like, Happy New Year? I think I might have it handy. I don't know, though, because I don't remember if I actually clicked it. Yeah. Oh, but I put it on my X. It's not important. I don't want to get carried away. You already saw it yesterday. Go check out yesterday's show. Happy New Year. Let me read a couple of super chats before, and then get back to your calls here. Y'all, at least one over here. Kukuji Ao, I single man. Do you know if Jesse encourages men to have children and be married? Or is celibacy also a good thing in his opinion? Do you have family? No, I do not have a family of my own. I only have my parents' family. So seek God first, says Rex Figs. That's a nice answer. And that's what I would say too. Both are fine. It's fine to get married and have children, and it's fine. Paul suggests you may even be better off to be alone and celibate. Celibacy is good, meaning not having the S. So stay pure. And Paul even gave a warning that the married man or the married woman is concerned with the things of the world, how to please his wife, or how to please her husband. But the single man or woman is concerned with the things of God, how to please the Lord. And that's just, how it works out. You think you're so based, and then you get with a gal, and then you become a simp. Whipped. Terrible. But I'm not poo-pooing either direction, because it's good to be married and have children, and it's good to be single and not worried, not concerned with the things of the world. But there's a whole lot of people on both boats taking the wide road to destruction. As JLP rightly said, to think about that, to think about those things, is to forget God. Let's see if somebody else responded. It looked like 2 answers. I don't see 2 answers, though. Oh, well. Nice. Thank you, Kukuji Ow. And the SGD, we looked that up another date, and that was, I forget what it was, but thank you. Yeah, he encourages both things. Marry and have children, or be celibate? Question mark. Maduro met with China. Who were there that night? Supposedly. The lines are full, y'all. So let me get to Lucas in California here. Lucas, thanks for calling and holding. What's up?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Hey, I know I'm not trying to be a broken record. This is going to be the last time about me talking about Punchie. But that episode was just amazing. It really showed a lot about you guys. Like, I don't know, something came out, something more realistic. Like I told Jesse, like a bro thing. But it's so funny because I wanted to tell Jesse this, but I didn't want to say too much because I wanted the people really see for themselves. But Jesse said it, that he just watched 30 seconds of that 2-hour thing, and he already was like, it almost sounded like you guys were saying the truth to each other. Like, and then with Derek, how he came out. All right, I'm kind of making a joke, not rage baiting, but
all right,
he kind of came out like a black Israelite with the Bible. He started just saying verses, and then Jesse's like, I think they dated you. He was like, I think it's working. And those are the two things that I got from it. It was such an eye-opening thing if you really pay it. Like, I really listen. If you really listen to it,
yeah.
And it was amazing. And I'm saying it was genius. I mean, I'm not saying like you do the same format every time or whatever, but I'm saying what you guys did on that episode was like 100% better than any podcast I could ever see or anything. And I'm not doing that to kiss, but like it was very eye-opening, and you guys kind of showed yourself, and I started liking Derek and all the the newcomers, like the new people, and I was like, because you guys actually have a bond. I see, pun not intended.
Yeah,
but you guys do have a bond. Yeah, so
that's
that
cool,
was
man.
really good. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to give credit. I have to give credit to the Punchie TV producer known as Kurt. Who,
Kurt.
Yeah, this was it's his baby now, if you will. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's a manly way to put it, but he came up with the content and the topic of discussion and kind of led the conversation, as you may have picked up. And so, right on, Kurt. That's cool. Thank you for the feedback, man.
No, for sure. And also the big question, if I can, I think I might be able to call Nick's show, but I want to ask you, did you have like, what were your thoughts? I mean, you don't have to tell me exactly your thoughts, but did you have like thoughts where you were like doubting, or like you were like, did this go wrong, or somebody said something about you and like you were like, it like held on into your head? Because I feel like I really want to know what happened after the show. And I mean, you don't have to be specific, but like, I wonder if you guys got it out on the table. You were though very calm, Hake. You were very calm.
Nice.
It was almost like you were the overseer.
It did mess with my head a bit. And I'm like, I wonder if I should have answered differently or different things like that. Because we were talking about all kinds of pretty interesting topics, about getting with the way that men worship women and how older men are betas and everybody's beta, really. And are you going to be alone forever? Are you going to marry? And does it matter to you if she's been with somebody? And are you going to get with somebody who's already been with multiple people? And it's such a uncomfortable and kind of ugly topic.
Yeah.
But we hopefully kept it fairly tasteful.
Yeah, well, you guys made fun of everybody, and then if you even look at the chat too, the chat was making fun of everybody too.
Yeah.
It was like a fun thing, like just seeing. It was like just people, being real with each other, but like Jesse said, it's like it almost sounded like you were saying the truth, like you guys were speaking the truth. Yeah, but anyways, that's all right. And then I'm gonna call Nick. I'm gonna try to call Nick later.
Right on,
but,
man.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Cool. Well, thank you for the feedback, man. Thanks for the call.
For sure. All right, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Make sure you subscribe to Punchie TV. Very cool. Rage Bait and Relationships, episode 70, our first day back in the new year. We were gone for like maybe even 3 weeks. David in Ocala, Florida, on the line here. David, thanks for calling and holding, sir. You're live.
Hey, Hake, man. How you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to call you. You the other day when we talked on the phone, if you remember part of my conversation, I was telling you how, us white people are getting sick and tired of these black people, setting girls on fire, stabbing them in the neck, hitting old ladies upside the head on the street and gouging their eyeballs out.
Well, I hadn't heard that one.
Oh, yeah, some old lady, I think it was in Washington, was just standing on the side of the street, and the dude come up and clubbed her in the head with a stick that had a nail in it.
Wow.
Jabbed it in her eye socket. She's like 72 years old. Anyway.
Was that a black dude who did that, or a foreigner? Or that sounds so savage.
It was like a month or so ago, so I don't even know where to find it anymore. But anyway, like 3 hours when we got off the phone, 3 hours after you and I got off the phone, a 64-year-old white guy here in town, his name is Harold Harper. You could type it up, Harold Harper. He's working in his garden in his front yard, and some random black guy just walking down the street shoots him in the back of the head and kills him.
Wow.
I mean, 29-year-old black guy just walking down the street with a gun, sees this old man working in his yard, picking, weeds or whatever, and caps him.
Ocala man shot and killed while gardening in his yard. That's your town.
Yeah, I know.
Harold Whit Harper. And here's the white man who was remembered as a kind, caring soul, according to the Ocala Star Burner. And
Star Banner, yeah.
Banner, sorry. Star Burner.
Star Banner.
And there's
That's racist right there.
I know.
I think right.
And here's a mugshot. Purportedly looks like it's a mugshot of the black dude, young black man.
Yeah.
Not that young.
Yeah.
With a full scruffy beard, looking like
he's
Go ahead.
He's like 29 years old, man.
Okay.
And
Suspect
that poor
arrested.
family, I mean,
Yeah, that's insane.
That's somebody's, father, grandfather, or something. I mean, you know, he's probably married. His poor wife is probably. I mean, you know, God help it. I mean, what? You know, the only thing I can figure out the part of the reason why they are so crazy like this is because I told you it's like the Somalis. You know, they're marrying their cousin. Okay, you got what I'm saying? So the bloodline is messed up.
Yeah.
All right. You know,
I don't
that's
know.
the only thing I can figure out why they are like this.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a genetics thing, because disfigured people doesn't mean, just because somebody is disfigured doesn't mean that they are necessarily uncivilized, you know? Because, I mean, I don't know what inbreeding does to a person's mind.
Psychologically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you see these black girls freaking out, you know how they go from, you know, I told you I grew up around black people, all right?
Yeah.
And they go from 0 to 100 in a second,
Yeah,
bro.
right.
I had a very good friend of mine who just snapped one day and killed his grandma. Wow. She was like 86 years old. He just snapped and killed her.
A black friend of yours?
Yeah.
Young man? Back when you were kids?
Yeah, back when I was a kid, and I really liked this guy too.
Yeah.
He was working on a fence one day and hit a nail, and it came back and hit him in the eye.
Ooh. And
he was never the same after that. I don't know if they had him on medication or whatever, but he did time. But enough of that. Let me go to this real quick, and then I'll get off the phone so you can get other callers. That you know, the girl that got shot in Minnesota.
Yes, the mother, the lesbian mother gal.
Yes, the lesbian mother.
Yeah.
She had it together, you know. Anyway,
Renee Nicole Good.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What's so ironic about this? Okay, watch this now. And I know you probably don't agree with me here, okay, but I'm going to throw this at you. You know, that was like just a mile away from where George Floyd got killed.
Yeah, like 4
right?
blocks, they said.
Yeah, I know. So they ring up Derek Chauvin and his, you know, few other, you know, officers that were with him that day, give him prison time, and they're probably giving. And this guy's going to get off, dude. He's going to get off. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think he should. What do you think?
I think that what I think is that he, you know, he was just too, he got caught up in his emotions, as freaking Jesse would say, the cop, okay?
Okay.
And, you know, and what people don't realize, these cops go and pump iron and stuff and do steroids, and then they go out and they get nutty, man, okay? You know what I'm saying? And
I've heard that.
I'm not saying that this guy did that. I'm
just
saying they had her tag number, they had her car, they could have just let her go and then went home and arrested her. Okay. I don't see justification of blowing the girl's brains out all over her airbag.
Well, let me play for you guys this a competitor of mine who I think did pretty good footage. Tim Pool broke it down, and I broke it down a little bit in a similar way, but he kind of describes things pretty well, and he zooms in and plays what happened. Let me play this for you. Here, David. I know that you may not be able to follow along exactly, but I'll play it, and maybe with the audio and explanation. It's about 3 minutes long. Check this out.
While I initially said that I believed she wasn't intending to hit the officer and was trying to flee, but still put the officer in fear of harm, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the slowed down footage that I believe proves this woman was intending to kill that ICE agent. Watch the officer who has his gun drawn. Look at his feet right here in the back left. Let me make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. As I pull this forward, notice his feet both slide backwards. You see his foot sliding? Yeah, he's not taking a step. He's being hit by the vehicle. Now I can already hear you saying, hold on, Tim. If you're up against a vehicle and it accelerates and it pushes you out of the way, that doesn't warrant shooting somebody. Agreed. Let's go back to the lie. Here's the officer. Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle. He initially is to the right of the vehicle. By all means, argue he should not have placed himself in this position. We're talking about seconds. Now watch this. The vehicle stops here. The wheels are pointed left. As you can see, the officer is standing right in front of the vehicle. Now watch this. Right there. You see the front tire? Watch the front tire right here. The wheels are pointed left, and she accelerates. The wheel spins out on ice. Then, with the wheels pointed at the officer, having spun out already, meaning the officer can hear the engine rev with it pointed at him, he draws his weapon. And in a second, because this is slow mode, she then begins to turn right, hitting him, and he shoots. I want to stress this again. Her front tire on her SUV is spinning out on the ice. You can see it right there. It spins on the ground. It slips. The officer, who was not standing in front of the vehicle before she backed up and pointed at him, and then accelerates with her tires spinning out, and then moving forward, he draws his weapon, and then the wheel turns to the right. Now, of course, people have said, oh, like, she only tried to turn right after the gun was drawn. Maybe, but I'll put it like this. I don't know what her intentions were, and it's immaterial what her intentions were, but look at this. The tire spinning out and slipping on the ice before stopping. There are 2 points that I think are important. Were it not for the ice, which you can see on the ground, the vehicle would have just lurched forward, run this guy over. Seriously.
Crazy, huh? Interesting. I thought that was interesting coverage there.
Yeah, hey, the guy standing by the door is the one that shot her?
No.
I thought it was the guy standing in front of the...
Yeah, the guy who was standing in front of the vehicle was not actually standing in front of the vehicle at first, but she reversed, and she kind of turned as she reversed, so that placed him in front of the vehicle, because he was standing on the right side, the passenger side of the vehicle. She reversed so that he was in front of it, and then he kind of steps over to the right, to his right, and to her left, so that he gets nicked by the driver's side front corner of the vehicle and pushed.
Right. He got nicked.
And so, she had revved it before she was even starting to turn away from him. So she was revving it and spinning, and he hears that revving.
Right.
And he has pulled the gun and shooting at her when it's, So it looks like self-defense to me. You can call it, it certainly looks questionable, like people don't know exactly what happened. I get that.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah.
But, first off, she shouldn't have been there. Okay.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have got her panties in a roar and went outside and started causing a ruckus, okay, and got herself in the middle of that.
Right.
Okay? I mean, if she would, she was being, rowdy, and she put herself in a bad spot, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine she's in that car and she's trying to take off, and bam, she's done. Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's true what they say about when you get killed, I mean, can you imagine one shot to the head and she's like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do they say happens when you get killed? Are you kind of aware of it for a second?
You like to leave your body, like people who have gotten in car accidents, left their body and they're hanging out above themselves, watching the people work on them and stuff. And, like there's been people who, died on the operating table, and they said they went over to the corner of the room and they were sitting up there watching them work on them and bring them back to life, So if that happens, I mean, man, she's like, all of a sudden she's out there in the air above that freaking car knowing, oh my God, I'm dead.
Yeah. You raise an interesting point. This is sort of a side note, but I heard my brother told me one time that when they used to guillotine people, chop their heads off, they would immediately put the head on like a hot platter. And for a moment, the head was still like blinking. And they think that the head is still seeing stuff for a few seconds.
Right.
That's so crazy.
How low were you when your brother told you that?
I was probably a high school plus or minus. I wasn't that young.
So you were like 9 years old.
I might have been pretty young. I don't know.
Did your brothers torture you when you were a kid?
We argued a lot. They didn't totally torture me. But I remember not liking my siblings. I remember it was a love-hate, but so there were times when I wanted to run away, and it wasn't just from my parents, it was from my siblings too. My older brothers and sister.
Well, aren't you sort of the youngest?
I was the youngest
I
was the youngest for some time, and then my little brother was born like when I was almost 7.
So, you got another little brother.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, did you mess with him, or did you leave?
Yeah, I totally like took it out on him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, finally, I don't have to do all the work around here. And then my brothers were like mad. One of my brothers was mad because I claimed to have been doing all the work around there when they considered me spoiled. And then they considered my little brother the first grandchild because he was so spoiled. He got sugar cereal. He could turn on the TV whenever he wanted. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because your parents got wore down, man. They were just like, just let him do whatever he wants. You know?
Totally.
Sure, you want Captain Crunch? You know, come on, man, come get it. You know. So,
yeah. Crazy.
Well, when you got a lot of kids in the house, man, like we had 6 kids, we had a major assortment of cereal. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Captain Crunch, freaking Cocoa Puffs, and freaking. Do you ever remember some cereal called Count Chocolate?
Oh yeah,
and
Count Chocolate.
And Blueberry. Yeah, Blueberry.
Vaguely remember that.
Those were the good old days, man. Now it's just whatever. But anyway, listen, I'll let you go. I just feel like, listen, man. That was the guy probably just like made an instant decision, man, that I think you might regret. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. Somebody in the chat said that he had been almost dragged by, a car before or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's true. According to Christy Noam and news reports, this very ICE agent had been dragged in July of this past year, just 6 months ago, and by a guy who was a child offender, sex offender, I guess, or sexual offender of a minor anyway. ICE agent involved in the other day's fatal shooting of Renee Good in Minnesota was dragged more than 300 feet by a vehicle just 6 months ago, per Kaneko the Great, during the arrest of an illegal migrant child R-wordist, or minor rapist, if you will, statutory rapist. In June 2025, June, it was Roberto Carlos Munoz, an illegal from Guatemala, convicted of sexually assaulting a minor, released in Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz's sanctuary policies. He refused to comply. The agent broke the rear driver's side window with a spring-loaded punch. The driver sped off, dragging the agent roughly 300 feet, swerving through front yards. The agent hospitalized 33 stitches. Ugh. And that's crazy. Yeah, CBS Minnesota reported this little news report here.
Mm-hmm. Why they talk about Tim Walz didn't want to go into combat and all that?
Yeah.
I got an idea why. First off, he's a wuss, okay? But second off, he's probably scared somebody was going to frag him, okay? I had a boss that came into my old dealership, the last car dealership.
It's home security.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And this guy came in and just destroyed like people's lives, okay? Took their jobs away from them, gave their jobs to his children, okay? Crap like that. People that have worked there for 12 years and stuff, okay? Anyway, this guy was in Vietnam, and one of my friends said to me one day, he goes, "You know what, David?" He goes, "If I was in Vietnam with him, I would have fragged him. Okay, I'd have just killed him."
Oh.
And it makes you wonder how many people got dusted over there like that. That were just I'm sure not a ton of soldiers, but I'm sure there's a few soldiers that were over there that were just a-holes.
Right.
And they just got friendly fire. I mean, part of that was in platoon. Remember,
So-called friendly, meaning their own men hated them so much they just shot them with impunity.
Just shot them. Yeah, get gone. Because they even had part of that in the movie Platoon. where he
I saw part of that movie.
Killed him. Yeah. So
in high school.
All right, man. Well, yeah. You have a great day, man. Keep pressing on, bro.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good to hear from you.
Later on. Bye-bye.
Bye. So fragged. He said fragged. I thought, G.I. Joe frag. Because G.I. Joe frag Viper. Yeah, I've heard of frag. What's frag mean? But anyway, yeah, look at that thing. Frag Viper. He was a bad guy. Okay, but frag means deliberately kill. For example, an unpopular senior officer with a hand grenade. Whoa. It's military slang, North American English. I did not know that. So I didn't know that it was so specific there, sir. An unpopular senior officer. And that's why Tim Walz didn't go, because he didn't want to get fragged. Wow, crazy. Interesting. Well, he knows the ways of this world. That David in Ocala, he knows what's going on. He's been around, even though he sounds young. Let me show for you guys this clip before I get back to your calls. There's one line open, but since I started to play it, here it is. Oh, Lord, hold on. No, not that one. This one.
This home security video shows a driver taking off during a traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. Oof. These graphic images show the aftermath. Stitches. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
Wow. What a mess. So that was in June of just last year, 6 months ago or so, plus or minus. I don't know math. All right. Roberto Carlos Munoz. And they keep on doing that stuff. So this ICE agent, very same one, the one who shot Renee Good, seemingly in self-defense. What a mess. Rest in peace. Terrible. All right. Let me get to Art in Ohio on the line over here. Art, thanks for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
What's up with Hake? How you doing, brother?
Not much. Doing well. Thank you.
Man, beta. Turn my headphones up. Man, I don't like Tim Walz, man. I can't stand him, man. Can't stand him. But as far as him being in the military, I would, if he's in the military, if me and him was in the military together, we gonna work together as a team or whatnot. If I don't like Tim Walz that bad, I just get out the military. If Tim Walz don't like me that bad, I'm gonna get out the military. Ain't no room for me fragging or him fragging me. That ain't how we doing stuff. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's a beta move. I wouldn't even play like that. Wouldn't even talk like that. Just flat out. You know what I mean? If we all in the military, Air Force, and all them branches, we all as one team. Now, don't get it twisted. The Air Force is their own little gang. The Army's their own little gang. The Navy's their own little gang. You see what I'm saying? But all together, we all one gang. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no room for none of that backsliding stuff. And as a matter of fact, when we get ready to head into this next war to make sure don't nobody be getting fragged and stuff or whatnot, we gonna make sure that we gonna have some cameras and stuff and high tech equipment to make sure ain't nobody getting fragged or whatnot. We gonna take the technology to another level. So we making sure that if we got any liberals out there that's acting bait and they are thinking about it, they ain't gonna think about it no more when they see how we gonna have everything set up. So we gonna watch. Ain't gonna be no more of that fragging and that turning on your teammate stuff. But that's another story. Second thing, last caller too. He said he growing up and hanging around is two different things. I grew up with a lot of white dudes or whatnot, and you know, I had a lot of white friends that was my friends where I used to stay nice over their house, maybe one night or two. It's a difference between you going to school with somebody and you hanging around with them day in, day out, going outside, and that's your friend. You see what I'm saying? And I highly doubt that in Native American black Americans got any incest. If anything that David from Ocala should be worried about is, like how I'm worried about, is the government getting out of these custody courts and getting out of the family's business. That's where the problem is. You got females running these houses and they over emotional and it's bleeding out to the lady kids and the male kids or whatnot. And that's all that's been going. You corporatize and socialize the family unit, meaning that you making money and exploiting it. And when you sitting there doing that, this is what happens to the family. You have a dysfunctional family. And I'm gonna need for David Ocala, you know, if he's so worried about why black people act like he black, why don't you just worry about trying to help me and you work together to help to get these custody courts out of the man's business as far as running their families and stuff or whatnot. You know what I mean? And we wouldn't be having these same issues that we having in Minnesota where a woman had a kid with one dude, he ended up dying. She has another kid with two other kids with somebody else. Something happens with that relationship. Then she ends up in a relationship with a lesbian, allegedly, and she's in Minnesota blocking ICE agents and stuff. When you supposed to be at the house raising the man's kid, but you up here playing dead-end games with a lesbian that ain't going to amount to nothing, and you done lost your life behind a whole bunch of Somalians in a quality Learing center. That's what you lost your life over.
What a mess.
Because you want to be up in you want to be up in everybody's business or whatnot, worried about everything. And the white man, that's one thing I can say that I am mad about the white man, that you ain't been cracking the whip on these white females. And this is what happened. This had to happen. This had to happen. This is the shot that went around the world. They think that they are immune to where the white man hasn't been checking the white female, that they can just go out here and basically work with terrorists, foreign terrorists, illegal aliens and foreign terrorists. That's what they doing. And my thing is this: why Dave Ocala trying to send for him or whatnot. If you let this type of behavior slide, the only next step is the males getting around in the cars and basically chasing ICE around and probably shooting at them. That's the next step. So you got to stop the liberal white female and liberal black female from interfering with federal ICE agents, because it's a progression thing. If you let this keep sliding, it's going to progress to something else. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So they're going to have to crack down on it. Every time you turn on the TV, sorry, fast talk. Every time you turn on the TV, you seeing white liberal females with blue hair and they kids that they got tagging along behind them or whatnot at these protests all over the place. So something's going to have to happen, and they need to understand, just like the black females need to understand that all this, you doing this little subversive and what's the word that I'm using? not progressive. What's it called when you basically semi being like interfering? You not all the way interfering, but you kind of it's a word that I'm looking for. I can't remember with it. But they kind of interfering, and then they trying to act like they are, but they ain't. And it's like, oh, well, just like they trying to say this wasn't justified or whatnot. That. She's hitting the gas. Second thing is he's on ice, so he can't move as fast as what he wants to because he's on ice.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
He's literally on an icy road, and he's slipping around. Yep.
Yeah, so he's sliding. Her tires are sliding. Man, point blank period. Ain't nobody playing them games, man. If you want to play games, white lady, go home and play with your kids, because if you keep coming out there playing with these federal officers, this is going to be a repeating and a current thing. I support the officer, man. Ain't no charges going to be brought up on him.
I hope not. I think you're right, but I hope not, too.
And this is another thing. There better not be no charge, because we need him out there. We don't need him being basically the same thing going on with Trump. They trying to basically slow the good officers down. No, he's doing his job. She put herself in that situation. I need that same good officer out there doing his job. I don't need him having to go through no hearings, no court days, or none of that. Y'all need to leave him alone and let it be known. If y'all keep, let me break it down for the. Let me get the cookies off the top shelf and put them to a lower level for the slow kids so they can get to them easier. Females and for the beta males. If a cop steps in front of your car, that means put your hands up. That don't mean you need to act, when they stand in front of the car, that's their green light to, if you move the car forward, they have the right to shoot you.
Right.
Simple as that. It ain't no gray areas. This is I don't want to play red light, green light with the liberals. Could you imagine playing red light, green light with liberals? They don't know how to play no games.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they always moving the goalposts. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Totally.
That's exactly what they doing or whatnot, man. They don't know how to play. They don't understand simple rules or whatnot. But stop simping for the females, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that, man. She shouldn't have been out there playing. She should have been in the house making sandwiches and packing lunch for her kids to get ready to go to school the next day or whatnot, man. And allegedly, she ain't even from Minnesota. She just moved down there from Missouri with her lesbian lover. Allegedly, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, she had previously lived in Kansas City, Missouri, relocated to Canada along with her partner and family following Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election. So she's a Trump derangement syndrome sufferer. Later, she moved to Minneapolis. So she's moving her young children all around.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. What a mess.
Yeah. Straight up. They need to do an investigation on that. Why is every time you turn around, the thing with J.D. Vance, tranny, female, always got something, this incident, somewhere around in the vicinity, it's something with a gay. That's what they need to be doing an investigation on. I mean,
you know what? That's what also made me wonder, too, what was really going on, because a lot of times the LGBTs are encouraged to be angry and lash out. So males and females are more likely to be angry, violent, vicious, hateful, because they're encouraged. It's kind of like what David in Ocala is wondering about Black Americans, why they're so angry, because they're encouraged to be angry at every level, from their mothers. And like you said, and the fathers are not able to be there to be like a stabilizing emotion. So what a mess.
Yeah, it's another thing or whatnot. Going back to the we all making jokes about the Learing Center and stuff like that, but really the joke is on us.
Yeah.
If I can scam $2-3 billion for me making up a fake business, and you sitting back and laughing about me calling it because I didn't know how to spell it, art. I'm gonna take you can laugh at me, or I got $3 billion in my bank account. You can say whatever you want to say about me, laugh about me not knowing how to spell and none of that. I'm cool with that. I got $3 billion. So really, the joke is on us. We just laughing at it.
Yeah.
Or it ain't no different than people making that Diddy oil joke. Like, y'all, I mean, I get what you're trying to do, and the joke is up, man. Y'all spamming the oil joke or whatnot, but really the joke is on the American and the citizens or whatnot. Y'all paid a female that was participating in crime She got free. She's really a criminal. She get a paycheck. She running around while the person that she was helping is locked up. We really the ones that getting scammed and gotten over on. But
Yeah.
God bless you, Hake. Appreciate you for having me on your show.
Thank you, Art in Ohio. Take care, man.
Catch you. Yep.
Bye. Make sure you catch The Fallen State. It's coming up next in an hour, y'all. TheFallenState.tv with George Wrighster, W-R-I-G-H-T. No T. Here, let me just show it to you. If we mosey on over to my, I think I posted it in the chat. So no. Here, let me do it this way. YouTube.com/TheFallenStateTV, right? And George Wrighster. Oh no, let me not click on the members only one. Although I am members only, I have a membership. But here.
Fallen State.
Does she obey you?
That's not the dynamic of our relationship. She's an educated woman, too.
Oh,
my God.
Would you want some woman on your football team?
If she's the best person to make me win football games, I do not care.
Really?
Like, no.
Does your mama know you think this way?
Yeah.
Your father knows it?
Absolutely.
What? You speak very well and you're black.
Black men are well-read.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Sounds like a good-natured little interview there, huh? George Wrighster III. How do I get the chat back? Here. First, beat all of you guys. Nice. Eat that. So, W-R-I-G-H-S-T-E-R, the third. He has a similar tone of voice to that guy, Cat Williams. Nice. You can tell he's black, a black American. So, will the guest be in the chat? His show is Unafraid Show. Unafraid Show. And I don't know if it's like a sports show or what. Lord. But check it out. Nice. That's what's happening next after the Hake Report. And then American Anchor Baby. All right. So Anchor Baby is also scheduled. YouTube.com/@American Anchor Baby and /live. He's coming up next after that as well, after the Fallen State. And I was already first, so beat all of you guys. What's up, Fish Fanatic? Nice. And it's also on Rumble and all that. Nice? Nice. Okay, I wanted to make the point after hearing Art in Ohio, it's so ridiculous that it's even a question, honestly. Because I get that it's it's a curious case in which, in this Minneapolis thing in which the guy was hit. I mean, the guy had to hit that gal. With the gun. After she hit him, or in the midst of her hitting him with her weapon, her car, her vehicle. Whether it was on purpose or not is irrelevant. It was reckless, and you had to do that. The worse the populace get, the populace being the people, not just blacks, but look at these white lesbian gal, this one in particular. The worse they get, the worse the people get, the worse the communists, Antifa, communist protesters get, the more they scrutinize the more perfect the cops are expected to be, the more they nitpick the cops. And I get that there's plenty to nitpick the cops about. There's a mess going on in the world. Everybody's getting worse. The standards are getting lower. People don't know the Constitution. People don't know one another's rights. People get in their egos and respond from ego, from a sense of self and selfishness. But they set these things up for propaganda. It's like, in Israel. I bet you most of those sob stories that are coming out of Israel are not what you're told or not what you're judging. But the longer these things go on, that's why you have to end a fight early and decisively, if you can. The more propaganda is able to come out and blaming the police. And that's what the communists know and want. So watch your judgment all around. Don't get caught up. That way you won't become an example of propaganda for them to propagandize. And you also won't be in hell. So the fallen state and nitpicking. When the woman was obviously wrong. And the illegals who drove off in Portland, Oregon, obviously wrong. All right. We're past the top of the hour here. I want to get to Alan in Michigan here. Alan, thank you for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
Well, you have another fun-packed program today.
Yeah, thank you.
Just as a shout-out, hey, a little merchandise promotion. I am sipping on some Si Senor
Nice.
Punchie's coffee, enjoying myself with that. And
Jesse Lee Peterson shop, I believe it is.
You got it. You got it. That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite.
Si
But
Senor,
anyway, that's personal
single
taste.
origin.
Yeah, the Si Senor.
Fruity, floral, bright acidity.
I was going to first mention, I really appreciate Lucas in California.
Yep.
And he was talking about thoughts, and I remember Jesse has a program that talks about thoughts and everything. Be careful about thoughts, things like that.
Yeah.
The Greeks, the ancient Greeks, we use the expression, oh, I think this, I think that. Well, actually, the ancient Greeks had it more correct. We don't actually think. We have thought-occurring processes.
Yeah.
That's really what we do. We call it thinking, but it's really thought-occurring process, and that kind of links up with what JLP says.
Yeah. And that was in science too, and that's when you pay attention to what's going on. I mean, it's kind of obvious actually that thoughts occur to you. You receive thoughts. I mean, they just kind of happen. You don't think them.
Right. And that's interesting because if you think about how perverted science has become, it used to be a time when, scientists used to have what they call epiphanies, where that's suddenly revealing, and I think it's the Spirit of God that does this. That's my personal opinion, okay? That people are given these flashes of insight that people use and then can advance science and technology and make life better for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave from Ocala, I like hearing him. I think he's 60 years old. I think he revealed one time.
Yep.
And he talked about the 29-year-old black gentleman who, killed his own grandma. And I'm not a betting man, but if I were a betting man, let's just say, I just wonder if his mother, he comes from a single mother home. Think about it.
I would assume so. The young white men and the young white man, Adam Lanza, and the young Hispanic man who shot up the Uvalde thing, his name is escaping me. Those were both raised by single mothers, and they both shot their mother or grandmother. I think the grandmother in the Uvalde case, she survived and called the police, thankfully. But the Adam Lanza, he shot and killed his mother with her gun, and she was living with him, and he was living with her. At 21-ish years old, he was poorly adjusted young man, maybe autistic or something, I forget. But his father hadn't seen him in 2 years, and his father regretted that he'd ever been born. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a story that you hear quite often.
Yep.
I just wanted to backtrack a little bit from what I said yesterday. I had and I think it was kind of important. I was referring to how this building for this courthouse, the actual name of that courthouse is the Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. Courthouse in Miami, and I know you can bring it up very easily, and people have got to see this. When I still am amazed at how brazen the rulers of this new world order, globalism, are, that they would do this, that they would design a building that looked like this. And I see you're hammering on the keys there trying to get that.
Yeah, I think that you've told me about this building before. And because I vaguely remember pulling it up in the past. And this is by that very woman that you had...
the Oriental woman. Look at that. Look at those pictures. That's a ship.
Yeah,
what a goofy-looking building.
Yeah.
An architectural monstrosity, in my opinion. And, you've got look at that. There's the bow of the ship. You've got the funnel. You've got the berth docks around it, those big square, awful-looking things. And, of course, if you take a long view, you'll see the undulating grass, which is the ocean. And these people, and again, it's no coincidence that Jesse called out that naked woman statue, and that's the divine feminine. And guess what? We got one on the East Coast, too. Guess what it's called? The Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
The statue, and look at those points coming off her head. That is from the, actually it goes back to Babylon and then to Greece and to Rome, Helios. That's the symbol of Helios. These, radiating stars coming out. And that it's all pagan. And again, like I said yesterday, everything is a counterfeit of the divine. They're trying to be God.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I did mention one other thing, and I'll go on. And it's called the Roman lattice, and this was the 8-pointed star that you see in these court dramas, which I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And is that a woman?
Yeah, it's a woman.
Beefy arm for a woman.
Lady
or is it
Liberty.
Or is it a big tranny?
Terrible.
I laugh at this stuff. It's really dead serious.
Yeah.
And it's all over the country. We even got it up here in Huron County. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's like these people are so brazen that it's like a dog urinating all over the country, and we'll put up a building that looks like this. It's a horrible looking building, but that's a symbol of our God, Shamash or Anu or Jupiter. It's all the same thing. It's just they change names in the different cultures, So that's I know I get a little pedantic, but I'm very interested in history and how it connects with current day events. And it's just a revival of the ancient pagan religions that have insinuated itself into Christianity. And now, okay, that's it. I'm done with that. I really enjoyed Art from Ohio. I assume he's a black guy.
Yep.
And I loved it when he said, "Government, keep government out of the family."
Yeah.
I just lapped up what he said. Everything was absolutely spot on. And he pointed out something very interesting, that the government is interfering with the social order. The family is the domestic arena and sphere controlled by women. The man goes out in the world. That's the public sphere. Then you have the family. That's ruled over by both the man and the woman. But when they passed, let women vote, and then in 72 started this no-fault divorce, that's when the breakup of the family was. The government was interfering, giving women the power to say, yeah, I'm not happy. I want a divorce. And, oh, by the way, I want half your stuff, and I want child support if they have kids, for the rest of my life, or alimony. Of course, that's being phased out now. So anyway, that's all I had to say on that, except to mention he was talking about crushing white females, and I just came across a new acronym, AWFL. You know what that stands for? Affluent white female liberals. So I'm giving that to Art in Ohio, a good acronym to use. I have one I call it LIC, LIC, low impulse control. A lot of people got that. So that's all I got to say. I probably spoke a little more than I tended to, but I tend to bloviate and want to vent my spleen every time I hear something good on your program.
I appreciate your
Thanks
call,
for taking
Alan.
my call.
Have a great weekend, man.
Oh, I will.
Take care. I have super chats that I gotta get to, all right? The lines, there's one line open. Lin Yan Shin, first of all, states, you didn't mention Earl? We know Earl was chief science officer with Asmodor, William, and Art as your apprentice science officers. This is when the 5 of you invented the white man. We all know you are Yakub, reincarnated Lord Goodhair. And Yakub, he mentioned Yakub is, has a big old forehead. Let's find it. Picture of him. Yeah, look at that thing. Can you see the resemblance? Yakub's forehead, Hake's forehead. Hake, Yakub. Whatever. That looks horrible. His face is okay. It's just that heart head. I don't know. That's not my style, but hey, I guess that's my appearance. Crazy. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin, I guess. And Anthony on the, look at all these super chats. Look at all these coffees, okay? I shall plow through these. Anthony with a coffee saying, during Christmas, Christians celebrate the humble birth of Christ. Meanwhile, 700 years later, in the deserts of Arabia, Muhammad was born. When the Holy Prophet was born, he remained for days without milk. Abu Talib himself breastfed him, and Allah sent milk through his nipples. He continued to be breastfed by him for several days until Abu Talib found Halima al-Sadiya, so he gave him to her. So says Al-Kafi, Book 4, Chapter 111. You think Allah would keep Mo's parents together? Mo for Muhammad. His parents together instead of sending milk through the chest of a man? You would think. Let me know if you want to see the rainbow side of Muhammad. There are many authentic sources pertaining to his fruity habits that Islamic scholars hide behind the Arabic. Believe it or not, Islam and sodomy, homosexuality go hand in hand. Well, it is socialism in religious garb, so I suppose it's quite possible. The God of Abraham would never send a prophet who goes against the grain of 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11. Islam brings death. Christ brings life. Thank you, sir. And if I search this, it's probably about the wrongdoers won't inherit. The sexually immoral, idolaters, thieves, greedy people, and all that mess. And that's what a lot of those people are. Nice. Well, thank you for sharing, sir. Sion says, Samson, chest hair. Would you choose Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance? as the next president. Now, are you giving me only those two options, or are you saying, would you choose either of those guys for president? And I would say I wouldn't choose either of them for president. Although, little Marco Rubio, he appears to be in ill humor, but I also like that look on him, rather than being immature. So he could be growing. People don't change much, as my dad said. Exceptions to the rule. So I don't know. I don't know. And then J.D. Vance, we both agree that he's kind of weak. But there's some strength in him, Our friend, our Christian friend, our Christian singer, rapper, gal friend, Nicki Minaj, not for kids, thinks that he's an assassin in a good way. And so maybe she sees something real in him. And, I appreciate him. So who knows? Maybe he may grow as well. Who do you see doing a great job and strong enough? Our future president. Our future president, Sion. Strong, black, but not too black. Not that black is too black, but anyway, Sion. If God made you that way, that's anyway. Strong black arm emoji. Yeah, I think that with God, all things are possible. But our future president is the one that I see. Sion. President? Coffee. Anthony. Muhammad. Breastfed by a man. And then super from Lin Yen Chin. Very nice. Let's keep on going here. Popcorn's thumb cake. We need Greenland. Or Greenland. Greenland or Greenland? It's something that the Great White Hope has repeated several times, maybe more than several, referring to the fact that in his view, and that of many others, the United States needs to own and control Greenland for national security reasons. See, a lot of these things are things that I wouldn't have thought of. It just seems so out of left field. And yet, there's brilliance to it. As you know, Greenland is a territory of Denmark. I didn't know that, but I knew it from reading the news recently. I didn't know that prior to Trump calling attention to Greenland. Popcorn. You know me. Don't know much about geography. What I gather from what I gather in the news, the U.S. is interested in having talks with Denmark about an purchase of Greenland, but Denmark doesn't seem enthusiastic or interested. It could be wrong on that. Yeah, they might have Trump derangement syndrome, so that may be adding to their wanting to dig their heels in the ground and, who knows? A lot of Europe is like that. I don't know about Denmark specifically that much. I think they have like a woman leading. Maybe I'm way off on that. Never mind. Scratch that. Whatever. Probably not far off, though. The interesting part to me is the Great White Hope is not ruled out when asked the possibility of using military force to acquire it. I love that, Popcorn, and I'll tell you later. Assuming that there isn't a challenge, I'm not aware of one, to the fact that Denmark owns Greenland, what are your thoughts on the situation as it's seemingly developing? The U.S. makes an offer to buy Greenland. Denmark says, no, we're not interested. The U.S. takes it by force. Would you be okay with that? And does the fact that military intervention isn't being taken off the table have any significance to you? Swap roles, U.S. owner, Denmark buyer, same stance. I know you're a might makes right kind of guy. Well, the world is a might makes right kind of world. How do you think Joe Biden became president? They had the government on their side, and the people in power, enough people in power were willing to pull shenanigans and not really investigate closely. But now stuff is coming out, and it's questionable. And so might made right. Derek Chauvin, they convicted him and threw him in jail. And it was the power of intimidation and brainwashing of the people and making a bunch of, against the will of the people, bringing in all these people who don't think straight. And then, by force of liberalism, they've infiltrated and taken over the education, so people don't think straight. So that is a might makes right type of a situation. It's not right, but they have the power. I can't imagine me being in favor. He can't imagine me being in favor of Denmark trying to nip it, ankle bite America and take Greenland. If you, Hake, own some land and a developer said, hey, we need that land for our strategic positioning, we'll give you $1 million if you turn it down, they have the might to just take it away from you. Would you go, well, guess it's theirs now? Or would you think that's wrong? Both. I would think, no, that's wrong. Oh, I guess it's theirs now, you know, because what could I do? It's kind of like the women taking the children away from the fathers. The fathers can go try to take the children by force, but the women have the government on their side against the family. I'm getting we can do this the easy way or the hard way vibes. What say you? Asks Popcorn. The reason that he doesn't take that off the table is to scare them, make them freak out, when in reality, he will be quite reasonable. You know, Popcorn? Because the move on Maduro even was quite reasonable. And it was right. And it was restrained. What I heard, somebody said didn't kill any civilians. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it did. But, you know, that's... so that's why Trump forces people's minds open. He will say something extreme to get you to be like, actually consider that situation. And then he'll pull back so that what he wants seems quite reasonable and like a concession. Nice. So that's my take. Think about America's position in the world. What is Denmark doing with Greenland? Greenland people, I don't know that they're particularly happy with Denmark. It's kind of like Puerto Rico in America. Where America is kind of the protector of the world. We're the most dominant. We protect all those other countries. And Trump is forcing them to start to pitch in on NATO and all those things. But if America owned that stuff, America would do better with that stuff than what Denmark is doing with the stuff in Greenland. And America running those things, you may as well run the stuff because it runs it better, especially under Trump. So I think it's an interesting and good move, potentially. I like it. It's so off the wall, too. It's so out of left field, you know? Anyway, thank you very kindly there, Popcorn. Popcorn. Greenland? By force? Bolghar Wolf, shout out. Hake, by the way, it's pronounced Bolgar, meaning Bulgarian. Bulgarian. Because I keep on calling it Bolghar. Pronounce. Bolgar. Bulgarian? Bolgar? Bolgar. Oh, Bolghar is bull or similar Bolgar, B-U-L-G-A-R. Bolgar. With the stress on the first syllable rhyming with pulfer or holfer. Bolgar. Nice. Thank you, Bolgar Wolf. Here, let's see. We are...
Bolgar. Bolgar.
Bolgar.
Bolgar.
Is this guy right, Bolgar Wolf? Bolgar Wolf?
Bolgar.
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 It doesn't even sound like a real person. I'm going to hit a like on that, though. 1 like. I'll put thanks. 10 years ago, 28 views. Terrible. First like and first comment. Nice. Thank you, Bolgar Wolf. And shout out to you back. Very cool. Awesome. Bolghar. Pronounced Bolgar. instead of Bolghar. I was thinking about Pantho King. And I was wondering if that's how he pronounces it too, Pantho King. Sion with another follow-up here. Thank you, Sion. Not all, but most white people are the reason why this country is failing, says she. It's like they resent their own country. They're out there protesting for the people who hate them and taking advantage of their resources. We paid thousands of dollars to come to this country, the rightful immigrants, you know, the people who went through the proper hoops, like Sion. Illegals in general, whether they're Mexicans or Somalians, living off our tax money, and the white people are out there protesting for them? Triple question mark. Make it make sense. With claps. You know she's black. Shout out, Sion. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, most white people aren't for that, but most white people are weak. Most people are weak. And then there's brainwashed gals like poor, what's her name? Renee Good. Not good. White Americans. Eric, who are you? I don't know. How are you? Perfect. What do you think? I don't. How do you feel? I don't. What's happening? Nothing. How's life? Perfect. Cool, Eric. Nice. And a follow and a super chat coffee from Cesar or Cesar. Oh, Lord have mercy. Eric, Cesar. I want to thank Lucas in California for making me highly interested in the latest Punchie episode, Punchie TV, Punchie. Kudos to Kurt, Kurt, for inspiring that episode's subject. I used to get a cringe feeling seeing Kurt on the JLP show when he was first coming around because he seemed to come off shy on camera. But seeing him on this recent 30-second clip, he came off what I believe was himself or genuine. Before Art brought it up, I was going to say the same thing. Drivers usually don't naturally try to hit people or even animals that are in the direction of where their car is moving. Indeed, they don't. You have to train yourself not to brake or swerve for an animal, all right? Because you put your fellow man or even yourself in danger if you swerve for like a squirrel or a cat or even a dog. Now, a deer is a different situation because a deer will mess up your car, or a moose, my goodness, you could die. But those animals, you're not supposed to do it. But, you know, the squirrel jumps in the road. I saw a squirrel get hit by like a limo driver over in Pasadena. And I was like, oh, soft, tender-hearted Hake. Anyway, yeah, you're right. And they teach you that in driver's ed, if you will, education. Anyway, so why would she try to speed away with an officer directly in front of her vehicle? The other officer next to her window was telling the lady to step out of the vehicle. That's right. That's right. And he was pulling on her doorknob thing. Not a knob, but, you know, the door handle. To sum it up for anyone who doesn't understand the law, if you obstruct an officer doing their job, you'll be arrested. If you try to cause bodily harm to an officer, you're going to get shot. Very likely. It's pretty simple and it's not debatable. It's always been like this. Have an awesome weekend, Hake, and all of the Hake stirs. Thanks, man. I see another super chat over here from Everblazer. Says, there was over 100 casualties during the capture of Maduro. I looked it up on Grok, but also remember you reporting this on the Hake News. Indeed. I don't know if they were civilians, though, Everblazer. Yeah. Thank y'all for your coffees, super chats, etc. A nice moment of silence for Renee Nicole Good. Let's get to Jermaine in Canada on the line here. Jermaine, what's up? Oh, Jermaine. Oh, I hear him. What's up, Jermaine?
Hey, James. 007 sharpshooter who never misses. What the?
Good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Good to hear from you. Nice.
Yeah.
How was your
Thank you.
break?
It was cool. Thank you, sir. I really appreciated the time off.
Yeah, you guys deserve that. All the hard work put in.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Art, man. You be dropping some fire.
Yeah.
And Alec.
And Art is so right. I wanted to make that point. I wanted to reiterate his point. You have to put the clamp down. You should have nipped this in the bud. You being the government in terms of the illegal alien situation and the protest and riot and disrespect situation, and the putting officers in danger and antagonizing them, and even threatening them. That is so out of control. Trump needs to put an iron fist down, like our greatest president, future president, said we should, because that's crazy. And Tim Walz and Jacob Fry, formerly known as Frey by Hake, they should be charged with incitement because they are inciting, and many others should be charged with incitement, or just, severely investigated. Go on a fishing expedition on everything and get them on whatever you can, because they are out of control. They're evil.
Oh, yeah.
By fishing expedition,
funny.
I mean what they tried to do with Trump, where they went on investigated all his records and all that stuff and tried to come up with crimes. Come up with some crimes on those people, because they are evil. I mean, you should really charge them with, the Black Lives Matter out of control thing that they were both part of, and this stuff. But I guess you have to follow the law. We should do it lawfully and in a civilized way. But it needs to be tough, because these are outright enemies of America.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, man. I watched that video with the cop and the lady over and over,
Yeah.
And I can understand why people have a outrage about it. They're judging, the emotions are running high.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what is your impression of Bob Jacobson, the commissioner of Minnesota?
I hadn't heard of Bob Jacobson. Let me look him up. Bob Jacobson, Commissioner, Minnesota or Minneapolis, or previously he served more than 33 years in active law enforcement, 16 years Director of Public Safety, Chief of Police for New Brighton, led the police. So Minnesota Department of Public Safety, Bob Jacobson, DPS Commissioner, Department of what? I don't know. I'm angry, says Tim Walz. I don't know. I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah. So after Tim Walz did his big speech there on the shooting, right? This guy came up after. I was like, this guy is spitting some facts.
Okay.
Like,
interesting.
Protesters, you can go and protest, of course, but you don't have the right to be blocking traffic and blocking sidewalks for the public and for traffic. And he said a bunch of other stuff, which was like nice. I'm like,
right on
point with what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
They're not condoning the violence, but they're saying because of anger and energy or these sort of things will happen. But the people that are protesting needs to be peaceful, and they need to not obstruct the police and public transport and those stuff, right? I was like, nice. Yeah, say some good stuff. But then Tim Walz get back on and he's like, well, this is because of Trump administration. They're putting
which is a
fear
lie. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not putting fear, because if this lady would have just stayed home, like, why are you even out there, bro?
If she were afraid, she would stay home. Yeah.
That's what she's not afraid at this point.
Right. If Trump were truly king, these people would stay home, and they really should stay home for their own good, for the country's good, and for the good of the people who are here illegally, who are feeling justified because they have phony people pretending that they're telling them that they're right, and people tend to blindly believe even though they already know that they're wrong, you know?
I mean, I would even put, I shouldn't, but I would put this on Tim Walz, actually, because he was making some speech saying, listen, we're one people, we're going to fight for the Somali, we're going to stand up for them. So he's actually the one that maybe, you know, with the hell inside of him, caused the hell in her to go out there and do dumb stuff. And now R.I.P. to her, I wish her well, but
you know, I thought of the term influencer. You know how they have people who are called influencers now, and elected officials like Obama and all of them do influence people. People feel justified believing crazy things because when Obama was president, was saying crazy things, lies. But he's also an indicator because he's not just influencing people. He's an indication. He's an example of the craziness that dominates people's minds. So Tim Walz, there's probably 1 million Tim Walzes in this woman's circle of friends. Maybe not 1 million, but the spirit of Satan in her too, you know? So anyway, who knows?
I mean, that's the thing, right? When in the Bible it says, you know, we people worship God's creation and not God himself.
Yeah.
This is the outcome, I guess, of that, you know? Because, like you said, they're going to influence you. You're going to believe them even though they'll be telling you lies because of our nature that is of evil, you know, that judgment nature. It's funny because I was in a meeting with my boss with this. We're taking on we need an app for our department. So, you know, we're going through a little a meeting with them to see what the app is about. And the entire time I'm in the meeting, it was a girl too, right? And I can just see my mind saying a bunch of stuff and judging her, and I'm like, this is so interesting, you know?
Wow.
And that's how the feelings and everything come about. And I was just sitting there watching and seeing it. It's ridiculous.
So you had a friend in your head, to borrow JLP's language, talking to you about this woman.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, crazy. It's good to hear from you, man. Jermaine, I gotta run along.
Yeah, man. Good to hear from you, Hake. Happy New Year again, man.
All right. Talk to you soon, hopefully. Terry in Oregon on the line over here. Terry, what's up?
Hi, Hake.
Hey.
I wanted to call back to respond to Jaime a little bit yesterday.
Yes.
Because he said I needed to call in and avow patriarchy.
Okay.
And make empanadas and that kind of thing.
Right.
Now, I'm white, so I will not make empanadas.
Right on.
But I'll make some type of pie.
Cool.
Yeah. And I do avow patriarchy. So there. Although, I think he did have a point. At first, I was kind of like, no. He's always pulling my pigtails. But then I thought about what he was saying, and he did have a lot of good points. And I did think it was interesting because he was saying that the white man has let the white woman out of control, and now all these non-white men are going to have to put her back in her place.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I was like, no, it kind of is that way, isn't it? Because white patriarchy, white men have just kind of given us such a long leash.
Yeah.
You know, to go crazy and do whatever mad thing we want, you know. And
right.
In some ways it's one of the things that's great about, you know, white society is
yep.
when you have it working well and the men are in the home and the women are under, you know, order, then you have a society that flourishes where women can go out and do things, you know, and you can send your daughters out, you know, by themselves to go to their little dance classes or whatever they got going on, you know. You don't have to worry about the craziness, but it's just not like that now. And now white women are going to have to find out, and maybe it'll bring some kind of order, just the fear. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I also had a comment about something Art said.
Okay.
Kind of triggered in me, and I realized I didn't mention this yesterday, but the thing that holds the lesbian community together is politics. So it's very true that this woman never would have been in this situation if she hadn't gotten involved in any of that. Because with the lesbian relationships, they're not held together in the same way that gay male relationships are. The bonding is usually very much about having agreement politically, and when that isn't there, they do not last in any sense. And you see the relationships where women have been together for decades, it's usually related to shared activism and shared beliefs.
That's interesting.
Mm.
I hadn't considered that aspect of it, but yeah, they're united in hate, in emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a political power type emotion, not a. And so you're suggesting that the males, are more. They become friends, kind of, whereas the women, they're more like comrades. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. When I know, when they have differences, it's a real emotional turmoil, and they spend a lot of time discussing it and processing it, and it's very difficult to navigate that. If you have any sort of difference. So
yeah, true.
You have to be on board with the team plan, and especially in your interpersonal relationships, your close friendships, and if you're married, quote unquote, to another woman. She and her wife were on this really negative trip together politically, and it cost one of them her life, and
relocating to Canada with her partner and children, called family.
I feel so bad for her son getting moved around like that, and having to deal with a butch stepmom, and now I guess you know what I did? I saw a lesbian woman on TikTok complaining that he was saying now this little boy is going to be taken from his other mother because his relative, basically his biological grandparent, is going to step in and take custody. But I mean, if you were, unless you had adopted the child that you're, that you were a step parent to, in all likelihood, if your spouse dies, they're going to go live with their kin. That's just natural. So the lesbians are going to be freaking out about this too.
True.
And using it to say, we're victims. Look at what the Trump administration is doing. They're taking our rights. Oh my God, the sky is falling.
What you just said about navigating the conflict with a woman who's very emotional and angry and all that is very difficult, and how dealing with a lesbian relationship and all that. It reminds me of Jesse's conversation with his experts on the JLP show in the first hour, I think.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to call in this morning because it was so good.
About if a man should try to go after and follow and appease and work with a woman who takes his children away from him and moves out of state, and should he move to the next state and try to see his kids and try to work with her and reason with her. It's so much better just to leave it alone. You know how your relationship improves with a person with whom you have a conflict, you get too close and you're too connected to each other ego-wise, and you just don't do what each other wants to do, and then you separate, and then you become kind of friends again. That is much more possible if the man just lets go of the woman and the kids. than if he tries to keep on going. He's just going to irritate her, you know?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. It's tough to say. I think you have to make a judgment call in each situation about what's right. Like, let's say the mother of your kids is like has serious problems, like and you have more ability to take care of them, then maybe you should go after and try to get custody of them, and reason with her. But I don't know. It's parental alienation is such a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It really is destructive to the kids, and it's sad that mothers do this and fathers do it too. I've seen that happen. I had it happen to a friend of mine where her kid was taken for a couple of years and like told that his mother didn't want to see him and like all of that. And when she finally got back in contact with him and was able to see him again, he just was like so angry at her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't her fault. It was just a situation,
Yep.
and the family getting it, also the in-laws getting involved and trying to create more drama. So, yeah, I don't know. My dad came after me though, so I'm not unhappy about that because then he ended up getting custody of me and giving me that, good, strong, masculine energy in the home, and the love of a father. So, but he was in a position to do that at the time, and it didn't. I don't know, Hake. I don't know what the right thing is there. I can't advise somebody in that situation, but I do think a lot of men do spend a lot of money and effort and time trying to appease women that they can't help. Ooh.
Yeah, big time. If the man is able to let go completely, or the woman, whatever, then they'll be able to handle it well if the kid does come at them angry. And just be natural and real, and then the kid will be like, oh, cool, And that could be so healing.
Maybe. I don't know. I had a lot of like anger at my mother, I guess, because like, why didn't she do more to be involved? But then I see like now she did the right thing, like letting go and having her life, and she, had a new family to start.
Yeah.
It was better that way. But when you're a kid, you don't know anything, and your heart is so tender, and you're so easily shaped by the little things that you can't. And little kids just don't know. All they know is their raw emotions, and so anything anything you do is going to traumatize them, though. Anyway, so
yeah, true.
If they're not mad at you for one thing, maybe you were there too much. So you can't win.
Well, it's good talking with you, Terry. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, have a good day.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye. And guys, we're at the last minute of the show here. Rob in NorCal, Rick in Hampton, VA, Steven in Maryland. They wanted to talk about dictators, flat earth proof, the Minnesota shooting. I got to get out of here. The Fallen State is coming up next. Okay, so did I pin? Yeah, I pinned the Fallen State. I'll link it to you guys over on the Rumble version, but check it out on YouTube. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Hake Report. It's been a nice week back here. Hopefully, catch you next week. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor Baby will be live after the Fallen State here, okay? And so I got to get out. I got to go. So, do, ra, fa, mi, do, re. So long, farewell, adieu, 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 adieu. Peter saying goodbye, goodbye. Dun, 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 dun. Take care, y'all.